Welcome to stplaygames and welcome to Satisfactory. For this episode we're going to make coal power, we're going to make some space elevator parts and some more. Please enjoy. So we were planning to make the coal power, but before we're going to do the coal power we need some copper sheets, and that's what I've done here. Like you can see, I'm making already copper sheets. So I've redesigned this a little bit, and this time I'm going to explain a little bit about this, and I'm going to give you the graphics like the previous one. It's not much change, just a little bit, so I hope you will understand. Also, what I've done, because I'm making enough, I don't have the smart splitter at the moment. So what I've done, I've placed a splitter in here, a merger in here, a splitter in here, and then they're all going to the awesome sink. We got 60 ore divided 30-30 to make each 30 copper ingots. The first one is divided by 50-15 and is making the wire to make cables. The second one is splitting 10-10 and 10, so 20 is going to the other side and is combining together to make the copper sheets. The only 10 is needed to make the other wire. And yes, you're correct, we need 50 copper ingots to get 30 wire, but I'm only bringing in 10. So what will happen, I underclock this one, so we got 20 per minute. So this setup is enough to start. So this is my coal power. So like you can see, I have a capacity of 1800. These machines are not working. The only reason this one is not working is of this boulder there. I'm going to show you one row that I've done. Not all three, they're all the same. So there are 4 water extractors in here. 4 water extractors, each giving you 100. We have a pipeline from only 300, so I place it 3 in 1, so max consumption is max output is 300. So all these are underclocked till 100, because you can make 120 for one, but they're underclocked to 100. $120 is coming in, each dividing with 15 in each machine. From the left side the 6 coal generators are getting 300 water, and the right side the other 2 is 100. And do this multiple times, and then you got something like this. Like you can see, this one is not working because the boulder needs to be removed first. There is a coal deposit below the boulder, but I need obelisk to do that. To make some obelisk you need to unlock them, of course. That's why we're going to grab some sulfur and all the materials. And then I go all the way down there. There is the sulfur mine. I cannot scan for the sulfur, but if you scan for coal, here is some coal, but here is also some sulfur. What I now will do is making some miners. I think I'm going to use 4. Pick up miner. And yes, after I been somewhere I delete everything. So let's go to the coal. Need to watch out for the enemies. There is one. One more hit. Don't forget the remains. Okay, let's start unlocking. First the sulfur. now we can make black powder, just so we need sulfur and coal. The obelisk is unlocked when you get the detonator, but you need steel pipes. And steel pipes we're going to make some black powder. Black powder, you can make it like this. So black powder, you make it in an assembler, select it in the recipe, placing everything you got in there, connecting to the power. I'm doing this just because I have enough materials. The basic setup for steel pipes and beams is done. This setup is using solid steel ingot recipe. So we're bringing 120 iron ore so we can make 120 iron ingots. It's with a manifold, so it will take some time before everything is 100%. Then we bring 120 coal. Each foundry is going to make 60 steel ingots, and each foundry needs 40 iron ingots and 40 coal. For the steel pipes we need 30 steel ingots for each machine, so they can make 20 pipes each minute. And for the beams we need 60 steel ingots to get 50 beams each minute. So we have in total 40 steel pipes and 30 steel beams. So when you have all in there, we can now unlock advanced steel production. We can now unlock expanded power. The logistic MK3. And we can unlock the blueprint. For the hypertubes we may need to make encased industrial beams. That you can only make if you unlock this one first. So what we have unlocked is some extra storage container. The belts. We can now do 270 per minute. Stackable pipeline. We have power storage, the power tower and the power tower platform. Then we have the MK2 miner, but that needs industrial beams, encased industrial beams. So we need to make that first. And we have the blueprint. Now I will make a setup for the encased industrial beams. In this setup we are making 45 steel beams, 40 steel pipes and 7.5 encased industrial beams. We're bringing in 214 iron ore so we can make 240 iron ingots. On the top left we are bringing 240 coal. So combining them with the iron ingots we can make our steel. With the alternative recipe solid steel ingot. Each line is bringing out 60 steel ingots. On the left side each machine is making 15 steel beams, so we get a total of 45 steel beams. And the middle line is the same as the previous one. We are making 40 steel pipes in there. The last two machines are making 15 steel beams, because we're going to need this with the combination with the concrete. For the concrete we are bringing 112.5 in. Each machine is making 15 concrete, but the first one on the right is underclocked to 7.5. So 15 in each machine, but the last one is 7.5, so we're making 37.5 concrete. So we're bringing it into the assembler and it's making 7.5 encased industrial beams. If you want to get 7.5 you need to use one power shard. And yes, you're correct, there is a bigger setup on the right that I will show you, because I have going a little bit overboard and already made the rest. So the extra stuff that I did is for 10 automated wiring, 5 motors. Here we're making 10 versatile frameworks. These pieces are needed for the space elevator because we are already making the platings. So now we have the smart plating, versatile frameworks and automated wiring. Plus some extra, I'm making some motors. I'm going to show you this in sections because it's big. Like you can see, this is what I've set up. I'm going to make it in different parts. The left side is part 1, then we got the second is part 2, then third one is part 3. Before we get starting to make all the rest, we need some production. And the first production, that's making 60 steel beams and 80 steel pipes. So like you can see, it's all manifold. We are bringing in 240 iron ore, so we can make 240 iron ingots. Combining them together with 240 coal, we can make in each foundry 60 steel ingots. The first 4 are making steel beams, so we got a total of 60 steel beams. The other 4 are making steel pipes, 20 each, so we got a total of 80 steel pipes. The second part, steel pipes, is not needed at the moment, so we're bringing it all the way around to the left side for the next one. Then the steel beams are going to the right side to the top, because we're going to need them there. For this one we need 133.75 iron ore. The first one is only needed 7.5 and the other 2 are making 30. So we can make 45 iron plates in total. The first one is making the 5, the other 2 are making 20 iron plates. Then we got the other 3. First one is only needed 6.25, the other 2 are needed 12.5. The reason why that number is because we are going to make an alternative recipe of cast screws. So the first one is making 25 screws and the other 2 are making 50 screws. So we got a total of 125 screws. For the last 3 we have 2 that are needed 12.5 and the last one only 10. From that we are going to get 140 screws because the first 2 are outputting 50 and the last one only 40. So the first assembling is needing 45 iron plates, 125 screws, so we can make 7.5 reinforced plates. It's the alternative recipe of bolted plates. 7.5 is needed to combine with the 140 screws. With the 140 screws with the 7.5 reinforced plates, we can make 5 modular frames with the alternate recipe bolted frame. Then we need to divide it with 2.5 each in the other assemblers with the 60 steel beams that we are bringing in from the other place. So we got in each 30. So in each one we're bringing out 5 versatile frameworks. So together we have 10 versatile frameworks. Part 3 is a little bit bigger, so let me start with the first setup here. In this setup we're going to make 10 automated wiring and 5 motors. Motors are needed for later on. So the first line are the smelters. They're all needed 30. The first one in the bottom left is bringing in 240 copper ore, so we can make 240 copper ingots. The other line is 70 copper ore. That's going to the right because we're going to need that for some more wiring later on. The first 8 constructors are making a total of 240 wire. So one machine needs 15 and it's bringing out 30, so 8 machines we get 240 wiring. The next 6 constructors are making a total of 160 wire. Because the last one is underclocked, so we only need 5 copper ingots and 10 wire is coming out. The last 3 machines there are making 80 wire. The first 2 is 15 each and bringing out 30. The last one is 10 and bringing out 20. So here are some 5 smelters, because we're going to need some more wire. This is a total of 140 wire and the last machine is only making 20 because its only input is 10. So we're bringing in 70 copper ore so we can make 140 wire. The steel pipes that we were making in the beginning we're bringing all along from the other side. So for the final part, on the left side, all these constructors are making cables. We need 200 cables. The first 4 are bringing in 240 wire, and the other 3 we are bringing in 160 wire. The first 2 assemblers on the right are making rotors, and this is also an alternate recipe steel rotor. For this one we need 30 wire and 10 steel pipes. The other one is making the stator, that is needed 15 steel pipes and 40 wire. We're bringing in 140 wire from the bottom one to the top. Then the steel pipes are going further to the left, because there we're going to need some more stators. Like the other stator setup, we need 15 steel pipes and 40 wire in each. So for the right side on the top, we are making 10 stators and 10 rotors. Combining them in the assembler, we're making 5 motors. And for the other 4 assemblings, we are making 2.5 automated wiring. So from the left we're bringing in 200 cables, so each machine needs 50 cables and 2.5 stators. Combining them together, we're bringing out 10 automated wiring. So let's bring in all the materials that we're already making for the space elevator part. Now we're bringing all the space elevator parts in there, and in the meanwhile unlocking the hypertubes. So we have done the last one in tier 4. So now the last parts are going in there. Then only thing we left to do is to seal it. And after sealing it, we need to sand it. For the next episode, we're going to make some more stuff. Because like you can see, we need to make some rubber, some plastic. We need to make some heavy modular frames. We're going to need to make some computers. We're going to need to make some packet fuels. It's all needed so we can make, of course, the train station and everything. Also, what I will going to do is make some extra power. And of course, we're going to unlock the Nobilis detonator. Getting some extra tool belt. So we can make some Nobilis. So this rock will be exploded after I unlock the Nobilis. And I have an idea where I'm going to make some extra coal power. But that's for the next time. I hope you enjoy it. Please keep on watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you to the next time. Bye all.